Hey folks, want to wish this little girl a happy birthday today. Aretha is 2 years old. Hey Jake, how you doing, buddy? How about that? 2 years old, my little troublemaker. Happy birthday, Aretha. Hey folks, Dolph Andale here. Wow, it really looks like Vinyl Guru has started something with her black thread here in the VC. I have pulled more stuff than I've ever shown in a video in one time in my whole life. And I'm ready to get after it. But before I jump in there, I got to give someone a shout out. And that is my crazy calico, my 2-year-old kitty, Aretha. And she is such an energetic ball of fur. And so glad that she's part of this family. So last year, I made a compilation video of her appearances in these videos. And it's one of my favorite videos to go back and watch myself. So I'll put a link in the description for the Happy Birthday Aretha video. Okay, so now it's time to dig in to the records because I'm ready. I've got my black tourniquet hat on, got my black Deliverance Greetings of Death shirt on, so I'm in the mood. Everything's piled up here. I not only went deep into the vinyl, I went deep into my CDs, and then I took it a step farther and even went deep into my extensive music DVD collection. So let's jump on it. Since she started the thread, the first one's for legs. This is Motorhead, No Sleep at All. I'd love to have this on vinyl. Great album cover. Next up, let's knock a few of the kind of albums that you'd expect out of the way. First, yeah, we all are going to be showing AC/DC, Back in Black. But don't forget, AC/DC also gave us Black Ice. AC/DC, Plug Me In. This would be even blacker if it wasn't so beat up. But unfortunately, I found this in a pawn shop, and it's pretty beat up. So then we go to Metallica. Next, we've got the self-titled album that often gets referred to as the Black Album. But we also have Metallica Cunning Stunts. Great DVD set. So how about Kiss? We have Kiss. This is the first volume of Kissology. Mostly black, except for the shiny logo, which makes me think about, is it Mr. Hall of Fame or Mr. Hoffman? Anyway, I'm talking about Brandon because of that Kiss box that he has that shows up in a lot of his videos, the box set he created himself. So, Bad Company. This is Merchants of Cool. Black except for the lettering there. You can't have a black video without the man in black. This is American 4. The Man Comes Around. Definitely an iconic cover. And then, of course, we also have Johnny Cash. This is the DVD for the video Hurt, which is one of the most stunning videos ever made. Next up, we have Stryper, To Hell with the Devil. Now, when I first started looking at this CD, I thought, wow, that's kind of a busy cover for being black. I didn't remember it being that black. But I had the cassette, which had the Stryper logo a lot smaller up in the corner, and To Hell with the Devil took up most of the cover. Same way with the vinyl, which I would like to pick up in the future. But talk about an iconic cover. This is the cover that followed the limited edition print on the original pressings of Stryper, To Hell with the Devil. And of course, Then there's Striper, Second Coming, with its black background and black suits. And if you're talking historic and iconic Christian metal, then you have to talk about Vengeance Rising, Human Sacrifice. Next up, Megadeth. Killing is my business and business is good. Yes, I know that's kind of big on that cover, but it still feels very black. Then we have Bloodgood's debut, simply with the logo and the blood splatter on black. Let's do a little genre jump with the Alarm, Under Attack. Now, going back to Christian rock, we've got Petra, This Means War. Black cover where the title is the only thing in color. This would be one of the last great rock albums that Petra would do before they kind of hit a slump. And they would make their comeback with another black album, and that would be Petra Jekyll-and-Hyde, where they got back to, they turned the keyboards down a bit and got back to playing some gritty rock. Okay, so let's finish off these DVDs. Next up, we got the Chieftains. Yeah, that's a lot on that cover, but it is the long black veil, so I kept it in. Then we've got Ray Charles live. How about some John Coltrane? This is his performance on Ralph Gleason's Jazz Casual. Of course, you have to include some Roy Orbison because it's a black and white night. Okay, so this first album, I haven't busted it open. I have no clue, but it is Cleanse Soul, and that is a very black album. Then we have Rob Castle's Straight Shot, which I also haven't opened yet, but I do know this is Southern rock on the Girder Legends of Rock imprint. Next up, we have the father, really, of Christian goth rock, Brian Healy, Dead Artist Syndrome. This is Devils, Angels, and Saints. Brian Healy just recently passed after a health issue. How about some POD? We got their live album, POD Live. Also, POD, The Warriors EP Volume 2. This one I was kind of on the fence about, but it looks fairly black, and I wanted to get some country in here. And who better than Buddy Miller? Full Moon. This is a fantastic album. Of course, we have to include Van Morrison, Avalon Sunset, absolutely iconic album that has the wonderful song, When Will I Ever Learn to Live in God? Then 1/3 of DC Talk, Kevin Max with The Blood. Want to talk about iconic? At this stage of her career, could anyone master a groove quite like Janet Jackson? Let's talk some Rhythm Nation. And rounding out the CDs, Miles Davis. This is Live Around the World. Had to pull this one. Features, I know people aren't crazy about this era of Miles, but I liked it, and in his band at that time is probably one of my favorite modern saxophonists, Kenny Garrett. Okay, let's get started on some vinyl. First up, we got some Lou Rawls live. What a great voice, and somebody that I just don't see getting much attention in the vinyl community. The next album is certainly iconic. It is Sade, Diamond Life, the album that kicks off with Smooth Operator, Your Love is King. Quick story about this album. I was working the front desk at a homeless shelter, and I was in the office, started playing this young lady from a medical agency came in to give us tuberculosis tests because they don't want that traveling through homeless populations. So anyways, she heard this, started singing along with it, went back and sat up. When it was my turn, I went back, sat in her chair, looked deep in her eyes, and said, "I hope you're a smooth inoculator." Yeah, I know. Cheesy. So other than the Vinyl Guru, the only other video I've seen in this series so far has been Eric Weinbender's. And I was so proud when he showed this album, Samantha Fish. What a great album. And yeah, she's the baddest woman on the planet. So I was very proud of him to show this. And but I'm not going to let it go there, because I have this one as well. Samantha Fish, Chills and Fever. Probably not the blackest of albums, but again, she's the baddest woman on the planet, so we'll make an exception for her. Next up, how about some U2? Joshua Tree. Again, a little bit much on the cover, but very iconic. One of my favorite albums of all time. It's in Kansas, Drastic Measures. John Elefante was singing with the group at this point, and I'm a huge John Elefante fan when it comes to vocals. Great singer. Here's a Black Album for you. The original Star Wars soundtrack. Talk about a rock goddess. We've got Pat Benatar, live from Planet Earth. Then we've got the iconic Ace Frehley solo album while he was with Kiss. Has my favorite guitar song on it, Speeding Back to My Baby. And we've got Johnny Cash, The Johnny Cash Show. Of course, got to give some respect to Kenny Rogers, recently passed. This Daytime Friends, great album. Oh, let's jump back into some jazz. How about this? The Quintet. This is VSOP. The quintet is made up of Herbie Hancock, Freddie Hubbard, uh, Tony Williams, Ron Carter, and Wayne Shorter. How about that for a lineup? The Quintet. Of course, Neil Diamond, the jazz singer. Great black cover. Boy, Grand Funk Railroad must have loved black covers because I've got a couple. Grand Funk Lives. Also got Mark, Don, and Mel. 1969 through 1971. How about some Uriah Heep live? Let's get back into Christian metal with Betrayal, The Passing. From back in the 70s, we have Christian rockers Jerusalem with The Warrior. I don't consider these guys metal, but I do like them. Demon Hunter. This is Outlive. This was borderline, but it's Rob Halford. He gets a pass, right? For Fight. War of Words. Yeah, there's a lot of white on there, but it's Rob Halford. How about The Crucified, The Pillars of Humanity? Great, great album. Little story here. I picked up this album, Farley, at Farley's Nerd Cave, Fan Cave. I've lost track. Anyway, Farley was talking about wanting this record, and I went on eBay, saw it, and bought it for him. Turned around and contacted the owner to see if he could ship it directly to Farley. He tells me Farley just bought his other copy. So that copy went to Metal Ron. So interesting story there. I couldn't believe it. Oh man, I was just so glad to get this band in here because I love them. Maiden, The Book of Souls. How's that for an iconic black album? Got some Angelica recently come out. This was off of Girder Records. I can't remember if it was in the limited run series or not. I believe it was. But great band, Angelica. Oh, take me back to my high school days. Got the Eagles, The Long Run. So hard to find this cover in good shape. But this copy meets my needs. And we're going to continue genre jumping as we go in for, we got Savior Machine, another Christian goth rock band. This is Legend Part 1. And I also have Legend Part 2. So how do we finish? Well, of course, we always finish with one of the great musical movies of all time. This is Spinal Tap. And we go there because there is none blacker. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's quite a look at a lot of my black LPs, CDs, and DVDs. We always appreciate it when you stop in at this channel. And hey, I've got an Instagram page too, Dolphandale12. You feel free to come over there and follow some of the content that I put up there. And we hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great weekend. And we're going to see you soon. Have a great one.